Hello, my name is Desiree, and this is a tarot reading for the energy of Ophiuchus. So this is a new energy that I have started to incorporate in my readings. And so Ophiuchus is actually a constellation, and it's not really recognized. Actually, it is not recognized by tropical astrologists. So they believe that there's only 12 signs. And I mean, I, I can see why they think that, and I agree with them. But then there is also Ophiuchus that is a constellation. And so I do agree with sidereal. So anyway, you probably thought that in the sidereal true sky astrology, the birth date for Ophiuchus would be December 7th through 18th, right? Yes, December 7th through 18th, which would put you as a Sagittarius and tropical. So, my dad, actually, his birthday is December 10th. And so he is, he can be both Sagittarius and Ophiuchian. He has both of those energies. And the same goes for me. I am a Scorpio sun, but a Libra sun, a Scorpio sun in tropical and a Libra sun in sidereal. And I see that I have qualities of both. So, it's just an extra tool to put in our tool belt, an extra way of looking at things. And I once read that sidereal astrology is like the astrology of the soul, whereas tropical is more your earth self. And I agree with that, being that tropical astrology is very earth centric. The Aries starts off not in the Aries constellation, but it starts off in the springtime. And it is that cardinal sign that kind of springs us into this new growth. And it's that spark that we need. And so it's very tropical astrology is very earth centric, and it's not according to the constellations. Every sign is 30 degrees, whereas sidereal true sky astrology, their signs stretch past 30 degrees. For instance, the sign of Virgo, I want to say is 36, 42 degrees, where Ophiuchus is a lot smaller than that, and Scorpio is small too. I do know a lot of astrologers, they read Ophiuchus and Scorpio as probably the same energies. And I kind of view it as that way too, because the Scorpion is below the ecliptic, and it has a claw that intersects the ecliptic. And right above it is Ophiuchus, and his leg goes through the ecliptic. And it's kind of a progression, I feel, of energies. You start with the Scorpion down below, and maybe you're working with that that venom, that that darkness, and then you sort of morph like into the phoenix, and you go into the stage of Ophiuchus, which is a healer. He's a healer because he has gone through this turmoil, this trauma, and he sort of healed himself in a way. So it's sort of like a higher octave of Scorpio. So anyhow, I just want to give the tools to anyone who is maybe looking for some better understanding of themselves, anyone who's interested in sidereal astrology. And like I said, one doesn't have to be wrong and the other one right, and vice versa. We can use both modalities in trying to understand ourselves, this world that we live in. And so the more tools that we have to do that, the better. So that is my long intro. And being that this is a new thing that I'm doing, I do want to reiterate that and explain as I go through until it just kind of becomes commonplace. So I'm here to spread the word. All right, so I'm using 3 decks today. This is the Lantern Oracle by Angelina Mirabito. And we'll pull a card at the end to kind of tie the reading in a nice bow. This is the Baroque Tarot by Lamucci. Very nice gold gilded deck. I love it. And this is the Mind's Eye Tarot by Olivia Rose. And with this, I'm going to draw 3 cards, and that is going to be the major energies that we're working with. Okay. All right. So again, if you thought you were a Sagittarius, you were actually born under the constellation of Ophiuchus. And that is December 7th through the 18th. All right. So you might not have any planets in Ophiuchus, but you do have a house in Ophiuchus. So you can still work with this energy, even if you don't have an actual planet in Ophiuchus. I have Mars and Neptune in Ophiuchus. All right. So here we go, you Ophiuchans. 2 of Wands. The Sun in reverse and the Knight of Wands. Fire energy here. Okay, so the Sun is the Leo card, right? That is very fiery. And the Sun also illuminates things for us. And it brings us to some understandings, to see everything for what it is. It also represents happiness and joy, warmth, love. We've got the Knight of Wands and the 2 of Wands here. So I do see that you are perhaps active on something. Knights are fire. He's in the suit of fire, so he's fire of fire. So he's very active, very wants to get things done. He's in there, does what he needs to do, gets out onto the next thing. Then we've got the 2 of Wands here, and this is indicative of 2 things coming together, 2 things working with one another synergistically to start creating something. So I get the feeling that you're in this mentality of wanting to create. However, you kind of feel you don't really have a direction, okay? You don't really know where you want to take it. You kind of have that itch of like, I want to do something. I'm unsettled. I want to do something, but I don't know what to do. And that's what I'm getting from these 3 cards here. So we're going to use the Baroque Tarot to break down this message, to dive into it, to understand it a little better. I don't think my mic picks up this wonderful shuffle sound that happens. I have like a limiter or something on it. I have lots of ambient noise. I've got 3 kids living at home. I've got 3 dogs, a cat, and so I generally have to cut out ambient noise. Okay, so 2 of Wands. Let us see what's going on here. So we have the King of Swords in reverse, Heir of Air, 4 of Wands in reverse, more fire, and then the 7 of Cups in reverse, water. We have the Magician, awesome. 2 of Pentacles in reverse, and the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. Then we've got the Fool, Page of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. Okay, so our major arcana down here, we have the Magician and we have the Fool. So let's start with the center column here. So with the Sun, I feel like something, like I said, is clouded. It's not,
forecast for tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, that's Alexa.
Look for showers. With a high of 7.
Okay, sorry about that. I have a notification for weather on my Alexa. All right. So with the Sun energy, so that is, it's not exactly clear to you what you want to do, but you do have the desire to create, right? And I've got this 4 of Pentacles and 2 of Pentacles here, and so like I said, this just reiterates the fact of you wanting to do something but not really knowing what to do. So this 4 of Pentacles here is Upright, it's about kind of holding on to your resources. But here you want to share your resources. You're just unsure of how to get these resources out. You have the desire and the capability to get these resources out. And then here with the Knight of Wands, we have the Fool and the Page of Wands, which is actually amazing. The Fool is one who is very exploratory. He basically has no fear. You know, he kind of wants to get out there and explore the world, understand his world. And same with the Page of Wands. Pages are earth, are all earth, and they are curious by nature, wanting to understand by nature. But in this suit of wands, he's got that fiery action. You know, he really wants to get in there, really wants to be hands-on and understand, know, and do. So he's right in line with his brother of wands right here. And so with the Ace of Cups being in reverse, I do see that there is like a lack of emotion behind this. I think you have all this fiery energy and you don't know where to direct it because you don't have sort of an emotional attachment to what it is that you want to do. You have that desire, that passion, but you need to couple that. You have to couple that desire with an emotion to get that passion, if that makes sense. So you have to find something that really speaks to your heart, that you can get really excited about, right? And then put all this fire energy behind it. Let me let you see your spread here. So here's your spread. So here's Two of Wands, here's the Sun in reverse, and the Knight of Wands. This is our big energy that we're dealing with. And so this is our columns. I have our columns set out like this. And the way that I read, look at me talking to you like you're just a new person here. The way that I read is not really linear. It kind of, it goes... like, for instance, I started here, and this doesn't necessarily mean the present for me, though sometimes it can. And then I feel like all of these cards are connected in a way. These cards are definitely connected. These and these, you know, so just FYI, my style of reading is not conventional. It's not like that Celtic spread. Okay, so here we go. Back to the reading. So here with the Two of Wands, here is your the two energies coming together and start sort of working together in a synergistic manner so that they can create something, so that they can so that it's no longer two ideas separate, it's two ideas coming together creating something, right? And so all of the cards here are in reverse. I see we've got the Four of Wands, fire, the King of Swords, Heir of air, and then we've got the Seven of Cups, water, all in reverse. And so, you know, the Seven of Cups generally means that there is some kind of illusion going on, some kind of fantasy, right? And the energy that I'm getting here is that you're kind of stuck in this synergistic moment. And I think the reason why is because there isn't a lot of confidence on your side. There isn't a lot of belief that you know what you're doing, and some belief that you feel like this can have some kind of impact. You have this idea in your head that it might be like a fantasy, right? It's something that you don't think that you can do. And it just boils down to confidence, I think. It boils down to you not really believing in yourself, believing in that you can do this. So while you have this desire to do something, you don't really believe that you can do that something. So there's two things at play here. There's the confidence in yourself, and then there is the emotion that needs to be put into this. So you're going to have to do a little bit of perhaps some self-understanding, maybe do some journaling or some writing prompts to, first of all, understand why there is this situation where you're not confident in yourself. Why do you feel like you can't do this? And then once you kind of got that nipped in the bud, and you know why, you can start making changes in your life, changes into your habits, your modes of thinking, to get you believing in yourself, okay? But in order to really believe in yourself, you're going to have to put some action to it, right? So at the same time you're doing this, you're going to have to find your emotion and put your emotion into this drive that you have. Find something that you care about. Perhaps you care about animals and you want to maybe start an animal rescue. Perhaps you want to start working with children. But in order to gain the confidence, you're going to need to put some action into that, okay? And so you're going to have to start doing small tasks that you are going to basically accomplish, so you can start saying, hey, I did that. Okay, I did this small thing. Now I feel good about myself. Now I can do this smaller, this bigger thing. And start getting these little victories under your belt where you feel confident enough to sort of take over the world. And that's what I have for you. And you know, the sign of Ophiuchus, like I said, it's about taking on that poison, that shadow, if you will, of what keeps us down and in the depth, and then basically, you know, fighting that and rebirthing ourselves and becoming like an immortal, because that's what Ophiuchus did. I can't remember the exact myth, and there's lots of myths surrounding that constellation, but basically it is a mortal who died, and then he was rebirthed back into this god with godlike qualities. So it's kind of like a resurrection, if you will. And on top of that, Ophiuchus and Scorpio are in the galactic center, and it is said that that's where the souls enter into this galaxy to be born here. So lots of interesting stuff happening in this part of the sky, and you know, this is kind of what is happening here. I think it's going to be you working with this insecurity and turning that poison into something that can catapult you into this new way of being, into this new way of looking at yourself, and then being able to accomplish these big things that you want to. You know, you've kind of got this stir crazy energy, and you just don't know where to direct it. And like I said, get the confidence by doing these little mini victories, and then figuring out what sort of emotional attachment you can put into this project that you want to head up. So you can attach these emotional feelings to this action, this doing. All right. I feel like I've repeated myself enough. It is time to draw your oracle card. And this is an amazing deck for a reading like this, and being that it's a shadow oriented type deck, and it has a lot to do with inner feelings. It goes really deep. I really like it. I like the artwork. I don't know why I'm unable to shuffle. You know, it's because I shuffle on top of these cards, and I don't want to like pick them up as I'm shuffling, because I did that before. Then I had a card get lost. Now my feather goes over here. I'm gonna have to fix my mic so you guys can hear my shuffling. Or maybe that's just me. Like, I like to shuffle. I like the way it sounds. I like the way it feels in my hands. So, all right. That was my last shuffle for you, Ophiuchus. And this is your card. Eternal Gatekeeper, card number 32. Acknowledge, assert, and protect what is right for you. Awesome. I haven't pulled this card yet. And I flipped right to it. Some synergistics going on here, huh? All right. This featured guardian has her eyes closed. Oh, I guess you should let me let you see this card. Oh, my thing's down here. Okay, here it is. Look at this beautiful, beautiful goddess. Let me get it oriented. There we go. And let's see how close can we get. Look at that. This stunning detail of this card. Check out her skirt. Wow. Amazing. And then she's got that wand in her hand. All that energy in there. Very indicative of this Knight of Wands here, this column here, just very, really just flows. Okay, this featured guardian has her eyes closed. She makes decisions according to her spirit self's guidance and not based on external or societal influences and expectations. I did switch, okay. As a spiritual warrior, she tunes into her heart's rhythm to hear and obey her spirit self's voice. Simultaneously, she allows and denies access to multiple facets of herself and life. She walks forward into greater clarity while what is behind her further disintegrates. And that would be this situation here of insecurities. She deliberately co-creates her present with authentic intention by choosing to release herself from any reality that no longer serves her and boldly stepping into what does. The Eternal Gatekeeper supports you in practicing your right to change your mind at any point. What and who you allow into your life and how far is always up to you. Something that is right for you now may not be in 5 months, years, or decades, and that is perfectly okay. It is the natural outcome to instances where growth transpires into a different direction from one another, an organization or circumstance. It is okay to say no to what you had once allowed. If your body, spirit self, and emotions are a no, your heart's truth is a no, despite any protests of logic. It can be challenging to do right by our authentic truth, especially when it is not convenient and does not make apparent sense. However, the consequence of saying your authentic no or yes may not be as catastrophic or as risky as you fear. If they should be, you are not obliged to justify yourself. You always get to choose how much access a person has to the domain of your heart, mind, body, energy, and personal space. This is your inherent birthright. It has no exception. You are always free to invest in and withdraw from anyone, anything, any activity, or any place at any time. It may be a time where choosing again in areas that you are off your mark proves particularly pertinent. Check in with how aligned you are with your spirit self's truth to recognize and take responsibility for making authentic and empowering choices is a gift to the spirit self that keeps giving. The power and strength in seeing things for what they are and acting on them by making the right choices for you are fourfold. While a person, opportunity, or situation may be attractive and look good on paper, it will have adverse effects. It will have adverse effects if it is not a good and true fit or right timing for you. Close your eyes, put your hand on your heart, and listen to your spirit self's truth. Is it okay? It is okay if it does not match cultural and societal norms. What is not right for you will never magically become right for you just because it seems as though it should. Guardian's message: every moment is an opportunity to choose again. Oh, I love that. To live in alignment with the light of your heart and spirit self is the greatest gift you can give yourself and the world. That is awesome. It is amazing. I mean, you know inherently that you have gifts and you are destined for greatness. You just have to find a focus, right? You just have to find that focus and direct the energy and get out of this mind headspace of this inability to do something, right? And it's okay to make mistakes. Believe me, you know, I heard this lab tech, I think, or scientists say that in the lab there are no mistakes, or what was it? There's no I want to say mistakes, but that's not what it was. There's no something wrong. There's no doing bad or something. There's only data, right? So it's not like everything is going to be success. All those little failures. Oh, that's what it is. There are no failures. All those little missteps is just data to get you to that answer, right? So while you may do something that doesn't quite work out, you know the next time around that you're not going to do it that way, because if you do, you're going to get the same result. You're going to try a different method. So just remember that, you know, don't let these feelings of inadequacy stop you from this greatness that you feel inside, from this fire burning inside. Okay, Ophiuchus, thank you for spending this time with me. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you think someone can benefit from this, another Sagittarius probably, send it over to them and let them see this. Or anybody who just needs a little pick me up to remind them that they too have that greatness within. All right, I will see you next reading. Take care. Wrong button.